The news hit the automotive industry like a bombshell. Elon Musk announced that Tesla is moving forward with aluminum-ion batteries. And it wasn't one of those vague, loose promises. It was a clear, public statement made during the company's earnings conference call. This announcement alone was enough to set off alarm bells in Beijing. After all, China almost completely dominates global electric vehicle battery production, and this new technology threatens to topple this empire built over a decade. The basis of China's dominance lies in the numbers. 95% of global production of LFP batteries, lithium iron phosphate batteries, comes from Chinese factories. Furthermore, 85% of the world's battery cell manufacturing capacity is located within China. It's as if every electric car on the planet today is somehow connected to a Chinese production line. But this isn't a coincidence. The Chinese government has poured over $50 billion in subsidies since 2015 to secure this leadership position. This heavy investment created a kind of artificial monopoly. Other countries, including the United States, ended up becoming dependent on a single source for one of the most critical elements of the energy transition. What's more, 90% of all refined lithium on the planet is processed in China. This means that even when lithium is extracted in countries like Chile or Australia, it must pass through refineries in China before becoming a battery. A dangerous bottleneck, especially in times of geopolitical tension. And that's precisely where the problem lies. All it takes is a trade war, a maritime blockade, or even an unexpected political decision for the entire global supply chain to collapse. It's like building a house of cards on a single foundation. Any tremor could bring it all down. Furthermore, there's the environmental issue. Lithium battery production is extremely polluting, with emissions that can reach 2.2 tons of CO2 per kilowatt-hour produced. This ironically contradicts the green rhetoric that underpins the electric vehicle revolution. Now imagine the impact of a battery that doesn't rely on lithium, cobalt, or nickel. A battery that can be manufactured with a metal that is abundant, recyclable, and readily available within the United States. This is what Elon Musk brought to the table with the announcement of the aluminum-ion battery. It's not just about innovation, it's about strategic independence. For the first time, the US has a real alternative to escape China's tight embrace in the energy sector. The curious thing is that aluminum isn't a rare, exotic, or difficult-to-extract metal. On the contrary, it's present in soda cans, kitchen pans, and building structures. It's an accessible, affordable material with an already established supply chain in several countries. Replacing lithium with aluminum isn't just feasible, it's a smart move. While lithium is scarce and centralized, aluminum is abundant and distributed. This simple swap could completely redefine the balance of power in the global electric vehicle market. From an economic perspective, the scenario is equally devastating for competitors. If Tesla can manufacture cheaper batteries using local, less polluting materials, it won't just be able to free itself from China, it will also reduce costs and be able to offer electric cars at unprecedented prices. This changes everything, literally, because it's not just a company becoming more competitive, but an entire industry reorganizing itself around a new production logic. If the first reaction was shock, the second was curiosity. After all, what exactly makes this aluminum-ion battery so revolutionary? It's not just a matter of replacing one element with another. What's happening is a complete reconfiguration of how we think about energy storage. For the first time, a battery can be simultaneously safer, more durable, cheaper, and more efficient. Does that sound exaggerated? So let's look at the facts that are keeping executives at major Chinese manufacturers awake at night. In terms of safety, the leap is enormous. Unlike lithium batteries, which can spontaneously combust due to thermal runaway, aluminum batteries are non-flammable. This means the risk of an electric car catching fire in the garage simply disappears. For families, parents of small children, or the elderly, this change represents invaluable peace of mind. No one needs to fear their vehicle turning into a roadside bomb anymore. But that's not all. Aluminum batteries also withstand temperature extremes with impressive stability. They operate seamlessly from 50 degrees C in the Arctic to 150 degrees C in deserts like Death Valley. This means drivers at the extreme ends of the planet will enjoy the same performance, without the need for expensive thermal control systems. What's more, because they operate over such wide ranges, they are ideal for military, industrial, and even space applications. Their versatility is on another level. Another notable factor is the charging speed. An aluminum battery can charge up to 3 times faster than lithium-ion batteries. Instead of waiting hours, users can fully recharge their car in minutes. Enough time to grab a coffee or take a quick break at a gas station. This eliminates the notorious range anxiety and makes the experience of owning an electric car much more practical. The future of mobility is starting to look like the present. And when it comes to durability, the number is impressive. Over 15,000 recharge cycles with almost no loss of capacity. To give you an idea, the average lithium battery ranges between $100 and 3,000 cycles. This means that, in practice, the battery will last longer than the car itself. It could even outlast the home mortgage, or even the car buyer's entire career. It's a new paradigm. People won't worry about replacing batteries anymore, maybe not even cars. Lightness is also a key factor. Aluminum batteries are about 65% lighter than lithium batteries. This directly affects the vehicle's performance, range, and energy consumption. Lighter cars accelerate better, consume less fuel, and suffer less wear and tear on components like tires and brakes. This translates into continuous savings, month after month, year after year. It's not just the price of the car that matters. It's the cost of keeping that car running. And when you consider the environmental impact, the difference becomes even clearer. Aluminum is infinitely recyclable without loss of performance. About 95% of the aluminum used can be reused indefinitely. This creates the real possibility of a circular economy where old batteries are transformed into new ones, without waste, contamination, or aggressive mining. Something lithium, to date, cannot offer. Adding all these points together, it's hard not to realize we're facing a historic turning point. Safety, speed, durability, lightness, and sustainability. All of this combined in a single technology. It's no exaggeration to say that the aluminum-ion battery could do to electric cars what the internet did to communication. Change everything, forever, all at once. And the scariest thing for competitors is that this isn't a distant promise. It's real. It's happening now. With the spotlight on the technical revolution, another detail is beginning to attract attention: the economic impact of this shift. The choice of aluminum as the basis for the new generation of batteries was not just a scientific decision. It was a strategic move. While lithium is scarce, concentrated in a few countries, and with highly controlled refining chains, aluminum is cheap, widely distributed, and easy to process. And this difference completely changes the production logic of electric cars. Today, global lithium reserves are estimated at around 22 million tons. Aluminum reserves exceed 700 million tons. This represents more than 30 times the available reserves. This comparison alone explains why the industry is eyeing aluminum. It's an abundant resource with a stable supply. More importantly, the United States has the capacity to produce this metal domestically, with over 1.7 million tons available per year. This directly breaks dependence on China. This independence isn't just symbolic. It has real effects on the production chain. When materials are extracted, refined, and used in the same territory, costs plummet. There's no need to deal with international tariffs, ocean freight, customs risks, or exchange rate fluctuations. Production becomes more predictable, faster, and cheaper. And all of this is reflected in the final price for the consumer, which is crucial in a time of heightened global competition. Furthermore, aluminum batteries eliminate the need for metals like cobalt and nickel, two elements that are not only expensive and scarce, but also carry enormous ethical weight. Much of cobalt extraction, for example, occurs in regions of Africa, with a history of child exploitation and forced labor. By eliminating this dependence, Tesla not only cuts costs, it cleans up the reputation of its supply chain. This adds value to the brand and meets new sustainability and social responsibility requirements. Structurally, aluminum batteries are much simpler to manufacture. They require fewer steps, less energy, and fewer auxiliary materials. This reduces production costs by up to 52%, according to internal projections. And with this reduction, possibilities arise that previously seemed unthinkable, producing more in less time, with less initial investment. It's a virtuous cycle where efficiency and scale go hand in hand. Another little discussed but extremely relevant point is the possibility of industrial reuse. Because aluminum is fully recyclable, it's possible to recover and re-inject the same material into new batteries without loss of performance. This means that, over time, consumers themselves can contribute to the production cycle, becoming an active part of a more sustainable and decentralized energy economy. The scope of this change goes beyond the automotive sector. With cheaper, lighter, and more durable batteries, it will be possible to apply the technology to homes, solar storage systems, portable equipment, and even public infrastructure. Energy independence will not only be a promise for countries, but an accessible reality for individuals and families. We're talking about a technology with the potential to reshape the way society deals with energy. With the technology base and costs radically reduced, an inevitable question arises. How much will an electric car equipped with this new battery cost? The answer may seem unbelievable at first glance, but it's being taken seriously within Tesla itself. The most anticipated model, the Tesla Model 2, could hit the market for approximately $17,195, and this isn't a futuristic concept. It's a concrete projection, based on real production and efficiency data. This price represents a complete paradigm shift. To give you an idea, the average cost of a gasoline-powered car in the US is around $25,000, and the bill gets even higher when you consider fuel costs over 5 years. In that same period, the owner of a combustion-powered car can spend more on gasoline than it would cost to buy a fully loaded Tesla Model 2. This puts electric cars on the radar of low-income families, retirees, and young workers for the first time. With a battery that costs 75% less, is lighter, safer, and requires less maintenance, the impact on the final price is direct. Current estimates show that a battery pack, which previously cost around $15,000, could be produced for less than $4,000. This difference isn't just a relief for the wallet, it's a game changer for the automotive industry. We're talking about a price drop that could reshape the entire industry, from design to distribution. And production efficiency is also a decisive factor. Aluminum-ion batteries allow for a rate of up to 10 times faster manufacturing using the same space and machinery. This means Tesla factories can produce more vehicles in less time, without needing to physically expand their facilities. In a market where speed of delivery defines success, this logistical gain is a valuable asset. Furthermore, aluminum as a raw material is up to 95% cheaper than lithium. This dramatic difference in raw material costs creates room for higher profit margins or for directly passing these savings on to consumers. And Elon Musk has already made it clear which path he will follow. Volume. The plan is not to sell less for more, but rather to sell much more at an affordable price. And this approach promises to accelerate the global transition to electric vehicles like never before. The domino effect of all this could be overwhelming. Analysts are already talking about a growth of 300% in EV adoption if Tesla can actually deliver the Model 2 at that price. This would represent a jump from 14 million cars sold in 2024 to over 80 million annually by 2030. And most impressively, this growth would be driven not by millionaires or corporations, but by ordinary people, workers, students, parents who never imagined driving a Tesla. Accessibility also changes consumers' relationship with technology. With prices below $20,000, electric cars are no longer status symbols and have become practical, everyday tools. This also puts pressure on competitors to rethink their pricing and technologies, creating a race for innovation and cost reduction that could benefit the entire world. Tesla, by leading this movement, sets the bar high that few will be able to reach without rethinking their entire structure. Ultimately, what once seemed like a distant dream, having an affordable, efficient, and durable electric car, is getting closer. And it's not a marketing stunt or a promise for 2030. The pieces are falling into place now. With the new aluminum batteries, Tesla isn't just reducing prices. It's breaking down the barriers that kept EVs out of reach for most people. And in this new scenario, the car of the future increasingly feels like the present. The impact of this shift isn't limited to cheaper cars or more efficient factories. The stakes are much higher. It's a new stage in America's energy independence and, at the same time, a movement toward mass inclusion. For the first time, advanced technology won't be exclusive to elites or enthusiastic pioneers. It will be accessible to anyone, whether a retiree living on a fixed benefit, a young worker just getting their license, or a single mother needing a reliable car to get her kids to school. The aluminum-ion battery symbolizes freedom. Freedom from the fear of fires. Freedom from range anxiety. Freedom from unpredictable gas or maintenance bills. With a lifespan of over 25 years and virtually no loss of performance over time, this battery isn't just a technical component. It's a commitment to providing peace of mind for those who will use their vehicle for decades, without having to replace expensive components or deal with unpleasant surprises. And the best part is that all this comes at a reduced cost of ownership. Because cars become lighter with the use of aluminum, they consume less energy to move around. This means less recharging, less electricity costs, and greater efficiency per kilometer driven. The impact on families' monthly budgets is direct. For those living on a tight budget, every penny saved makes a difference. And these savings accumulate over time, creating real financial relief. Accessibility also breaks an old cycle of exclusion. For a long time, electric cars were seen as a luxury or a whim for those who could afford it. Now, with prices under $18,000, this paradigm is being shattered. People who previously never considered owning an EV are beginning to consider the idea. This isn't just about selling more. It's about transforming what was once a privilege into an affordable and desirable standard for everyone. And at the same time, China is losing the comfortable position it has built over the past few years. Its monopoly on lithium, refining, and battery production is beginning to crack. As countries discover they can produce clean, local, and cheaper energy, their dependence on supply chains controlled by foreign powers is dismantled. This changes the global game, not just for the auto industry, but for the entire geopolitics of energy. With this move, Elon Musk isn't just responding to the energy crisis or the technological dispute with China. He's opening a new path where access to sustainable mobility becomes a basic right, not a privilege. Barriers are falling one by one. Cost, safety, range, durability, and environmental impact. Everything is being overcome at once with a single change: the switch from lithium to aluminum. This moment marks the beginning of a new era, an era where choosing an electric car won't be based on what you can afford, but on what you actually want to drive. An era where charging your car will take just minutes, without fear of fires, without surprises on your electricity bill, and with the certainty that the battery will last almost as long as your home. It's the democratization of clean energy on four wheels. So what Tesla is doing with the aluminum-ion battery isn't just an engineering move, it's a geopolitical strategy, an industrial step, and, above all, a human milestone. A milestone that could give millions of people something that long seemed unattainable. A true electric car within reach, with autonomy, safety, and no ties to foreign powers. This revolution has begun, and the world will no longer be able to ignore it.